Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a continuation of another broadcast. Right now, we are receiving information from Belarus about some people being killed. The Belsat has just informed us that there were people killed in the violence during the government overthrow in Belarus. And the situation seems to be increasing in amount of violence because there is also information about barricades that the protesters are creating barricades. And I am hoping to show it to you now. Let's see, share the screen. Yes, yes, yes. And now, let's see. I very much hope that you are watching me. Let's go. Yes. Yes. So that is the scene, what was happening in the city. As you can see, people are getting beat up. Uh, and the situation is such that there are people who are trying to run away from the police. And the police is doing all kinds of violence towards them. And there are running battles all over the city. And like I said earlier, there is information about this situation increasing because now there are dead people. This was just informed from the channel of Belsat, from pro opposition group. We received this information. And this is entirely new. I also have not heard before that there was barricades, so it's also quite new information. Also, there is information about people getting shot. The fact that the people are getting shot. In particular, there were at least two journalists that were shot, and those journalists, they were belonging to two different outlets. One of the outlets is called Nasha Niva, and the name of the other outlet I'm not exactly familiar with, but it's pretty surely one of the main outlets. And the way it is being told, it is that they are shooting at journalists. At least that's the way the Niva channel is reporting that. And where this is true or not true is very hard to confirm or somehow some other ways verify. So information coming in, and also we are constantly seeing that there are people who are being lost, and their relatives are trying to find them. And as you can see, this scenes of the sporadic violence, where there are police that are chasing the protesters. And then if they catch them, then of course the protesters get beat up. And as you can see, they are running away right here. And that's seen in many places all over the country. And this situation is ongoing now, and the amount of violence seem to be increasing continuously. And it is also so that the policemen have said that there we go, there's a person, a civilian person in the middle, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 police that were beating up that guy. This is 3 police beating up somebody, 4, and they are getting into it rather forcefully. And then there is one more scene. The way I perceive it is that there is one more beating going on simultaneously. and those are some female protesters trying to voice their protest. They pretty much don't really know. They don't seem to know like how to express their anger at what's going on. And one of the scenes which has been reported, it is that there is a tourist group. There was a group with a guide where they were on tour, and a cultural group which was guided by a guide on excursion. And apparently, several times there was reappearing this information that the people who were touring the Belarusian capital, they were arrested. Well, actually, to be more precise, it was only the male members of the group who were arrested, but the female parts of this tour group, they were left without their men, so nobody exactly knows where those men are right now. And those women are left in the city with protests and violence, and the whole situation is a little bit strange because, at least according to the information from this agency, situation seems to be somewhat sliding towards anarchy, because both protesters and the police force are showing less and less concern for each other's welfare. And there is this sort of almost like a game going on, because both sides are beginning to feel exhausted, because it is a second night on a row where this is ongoing. And this is precisely what they're saying on all kinds of TV networks, especially the ones that are pro opposition, that since people are much lighter, people are not wearing any kind of military equipment, then people, this is the shots, this is the scene where they are firing on the journalists. I will put it back to normal. Yes, that was the scene which we just saw, where they tried to, where there was shots, where there were shots fired. And two journalists were hurt, and one of them is from the newspaper called Nasha Niva. And time after time, there are reports incoming that the incumbent president, the president of Belarus, also called the last dictator, he is drawing all his forces towards the Minsk, the capital, and especially towards the center of Minsk. And then in a smaller cities, there is this situation where there are buses after buses after buses of the people who are working for security forces. They're jumping out. They are catching pretty much whoever they can catch. Then they throw them into those big trucks, and then they just go away again. And this is how it's happening. So in the smaller cities especially, this has become somewhat strange. It has disintegrated even more into this game with no rules, at least what it seems from the description which we are having from the opposition side. And also the important confirmation who is siding with who. So at least one of the main forces in Russian politics, a representative of the Liberal Democratic Party in Russian parliament, has declared that the things which are happening in Belarus right now are not are not okay. So, as you might know, pretty much the whole Russian parliament is relatively pro government, relatively pro system. You can hardly call any of them that they're out of the system. Some of them might be formally called opposition, but it's very difficult to say it realistically. So anyway, the representative of Liberal Party, which is part of the system, he has said that things that are going on in Belarus right now, it is unacceptable. representative of Liberal Party. I think it's second largest fraction in Russian parliament. So there is clearly, as you can see, those guys are getting beat up. They are forming a chain, just people standing, and boom, 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 police comes and they start beating them up. So you saw they were doing absolutely nothing. They were just standing. Police comes and beats the living lights out of them. You can see that they are using all the force they can. Those people are doing absolutely nothing. They were standing, sitting, and then police jumps out. As you can see, they jump out from one of those buses. And this is apparently scene which is repeating time and time again in quite a few locations. And this seems to be ongoing situation, and this is people which are put towards the wall like in prison. And then they are, I presume, body searched after a while, but this is like a detention. But they also have this little row, this metallic row which they put against them so that they can't move, and then they have to stand with hands up. And I don't know if you ever tried with standing hands up, but this, it might look easy, but it's quite hard. After a while, your hands, your arms, your feet, everything starts to hurt really, really bad. And as you can see, there are dozens upon dozens of those people that are being sort of detained in this kind of manner. And like we have mentioned previously, the number of already detained from yesterday, from last night, is between 1 and 3,000. Already between 1 and 3,000 people detained from yesterday. In one of the cities, there are reports that people have managed to free up one of the people that was detained by the police, and that there were shouts of joy and like celebrations because they managed to get loose a couple of guys who were detained by the police. And these are these photos of the two journalists who were shot. This is the actual footage of them being shot. And this situation is continuously developing. Now, who is siding with who? Like I said, there are some forces in Russia which are clearly speaking out against, I repeat, against the current regime in Belarus. And then there is sort of also at the same time an official line where Russia seems to be accepting um, the current situation. So the true answer is that we don't know. We don't know what is the stay. Is there some kind of, like undercover game? Is there something going on where Russia is sort of, sending a double message towards the person who is called last dictator of Europe? This is what Lukashenko, the current president, is often called in EU. If there is some sort of double game towards him from the government of Russia, because there are many ways in which they are unhappy about him too. So the way it looks right now, the Lukashenko, the so-called dictator, he is being squeezed heavily, heavily, heavily from the West. There are countries like Sweden, which was first out to protest against this violence. And then Poland came out pretty strongly, also Lithuania, Latvia, then Germany, and then the whole European Union came out in a statement. And then after that, there was the next situation, which we could see, and it was Russia sort of sending somehow, for some reason, the double message, where there is a part of it which is saying like, yay, it's great, but then there are some parts of the pro-government elite, which is saying this is not okay. China has spoke out, and China is admitting those elections. China is considering those elections to be okay, to be legit, and they obviously don't want Lukashenko to quit. And this is one of the other cities where you can see people are running away. So there's your typical scene: a police vehicle, and it's sort of lonely, also lonely. And they are having this situation where there's masses of people who are running around, in sometimes even like literally running around in circles, and there are the policemen that are trying to chase them. But you see, there are one, two policemen, and there's lots of guys, and they just sit down, they lie down, they do nothing, and yeah, then police are coming over there, and I don't know what they're doing. I haven't seen this particular footage. Yes, it seems they were beating up there for a while, not so heavily, but beating up, and then they're taking them away. And then there is some sort of a gun. It appears they are having some sort of guns. I cannot confirm, I cannot verify what kind of guns they are, but this is the first actual footage where I did see some sort of a gun. Yeah, now there are the bats. This is all normal. Well, normal and normal, but I mean, like, this is what you would expect from a riot police. But the thing that we saw for a while in the previous footage that was quite new, that was, of course, the actual footage of a gun. We didn't see it used, but on some occasions, we have seen a couple of times rubber bullets that people were hurt, and then some sort of thing which almost leaves a hole in people's body. There was one person who was really badly hurt, where they shot him with that thing into the chest. And it is absolutely confirmed and verified that on top of flashbangs, on top of gas, on top of all other kinds of sort of non-lethal things, they are using rubber bullets. So if rubber bullets meets the eye, then you can figure it out. There is a huge risk that this person will die. And then there is also another situation that they are rolling out a whole row, a whole array of new kind of equipment, which we did not see before, which is, of course, a little bit surprising. And they are clearly, they have been training for this quite a lot. And as I have been mentioning previously, part of the situation is that there are a lot of relatives who are just sort of looking around for their loved ones, because there is no internet. There is bad connection in many, many places, or no connection at all. And then people are running around town looking for their relatives, because nobody knows where they are. And like I said, the number of the people who are either arrested or detained, or even some charges being pressed, the number is between 1 and 3,000. 1 and 3,000, between 1 and 3,000 of people who are either detained or arrested. And of course, you can multiply this number by, say, a three or even five, if you would consider how many banks, you see the banks here, how many relatives of the people they are. So for, let's say, 3,000 that are detained, there might be three or five relatives that are looking for this person all over the city. So a logical kind of conclusion would be that there might be some 10, 50,000 people running around there, just looking for their loved ones, which they don't know what happened with them. And one of the things that opposition is doing on their channel, they are they're somehow getting out the list of the people who are either detained or arrested, and they're trying to confirm their fate. This is one of the things ongoing. And as you can see, there are very, very many people who are coming out. and there is clearly this situation where the protesters are trying to mm, kind of dismantle, to wear out the government, because of course they don't have simply as many people as it would probably take to control such a large number of protesters. So protesters are trying to be as efficient as possible in usage of their numbers, being at many places at once, and having those sort of flash fires or flash floods, if you want, or flash mobs, one might also say. And then the more police feels that they are inadequate or outnumbered, or in some places there have even been reports of the detained people freed by the crowds, the detained people freed by protesters, and in some cases I have seen the footage myself. There is a footage of how they are taking away the equipment from the police. Not nothing like legal or anything, but I think it was like a couple of shields and things like that, but not more than that. But still, there are some cases where I have seen how the police were getting kicked, and then they would sort of take their gear from them. And this situation is ongoing, and the more police are feeling cornered or outnumbered, the more there is violence, and it seems to be increasing. And like I previously said, there are now some reports of people being dead, and this is information which is provided by pro opposition channel called Belsat, which is broadcasting out of Poland. And this is in Belarusian, and I have tried to find an English version, and they're supposed to have an English version and everything like this, but they don't. Where else is this heavily supported? There has been some support, surprisingly enough, coming out of St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg in Russia, there was a gathering of people who are from Belarus or who support Belarus, and then there have been some sort of gatherings in Moscow as well, and there has been a large demonstration in Warsaw in Poland, very much alive with a lot of sort of fun with samba drums, with a lot of nice girls, flair and style. So I don't know. I mean, it might go on for a while, because there is clearly a lot more action which is constantly happening. And why one can say that this most certainly does not happen every day. This is extremely unusual situation for Belarus, and the way I remember it, something similar like this was going on in 2010, 10 years, and before that there were yet maybe another decade. So this is maybe like once in a decade event. So this may be something that happens a couple of times in a generation. And then in between that, this is a very sort of heavy ruled state with some very severe restrictions. Compared to this country, you can definitely say that in comparison to this country, you know, even countries like Russia are clearly more, they would be considered as free in comparison to this country, because this is much more hardline, and this is like a last remnants of Soviet Union in very many ways. For example, in Russia they have abolished the KGB. In Belarus there is still KGB. And one of the sort of issues which there are some, oh my god, 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 that was a lot of blood. I hope you don't have any children near this, but there are some scenes. I'm gonna soon turn up the volume once again, and we're gonna listen more exact to the information which is incoming. But we are clearly seeing that there is a person who is bleeding badly right now. And for those of you who are turning in, I hope there are some of you who are turning in right now. Mhm. We can clearly conclude that there is continuous violence going on. And yes, there are. Now let's see. Let's turn up the volume and hear what they are saying. So that's the flashbangs. Those are the flashbangs going on. Yeah. Okay. And now we. So Pompeo has been speaking out. Pompeo is speaking out on this issue. A few weeks ago, Pompeo was in touch with Lukashenko. He has met Lukashenko, and the sign. It was considered by many as a sign of a warming up relationship between Belarus and United States, because Mike Pompeo he met with the so-called dictator of Belarus, or Lukashenko, if you want. And now we are hearing from the U.S. that U.S. saying that these elections were not, I repeat, US is saying that these elections were not free. Not free and not fair elections. The United States are deeply concerned by the way the election was held in Belarus. The United States are deeply concerned by the fact that the elections in Belarus were not free and fair. There was clear facts where the candidates were not allowed to be part of the electoral process. This is Pompeo that they're quoting. There were not electoral commissions monitoring. There was not monitoring that is normally necessary. And there were also many free protesters who were arrested. And I repeat again, this is Pompeo speaking out on the behalf of the U.S. about the situation in Belarus. And Pompeo also said that he thinks that it's very sad that the observers from European organizations were not able to attend and were not able to observe. Only free and fair elections is the basis for the legitimacy of any kind of power. Those are the things that are being said by the Pompeo. So the correspondent is telling right now that she is seeing how barricades are being built. So there are people that are standing in front of barricades, and then they run behind the barricades. At times, they're coming in police attacks. So Lukashenko has spoken out, which is completely a fact. Lukashenko did perform a speech, and apparently, in his speech, Lukashenko has said that there is a lot of foreign interference. That, for example, there is headquarters which are. Uh, oh, darn. Apparently, there is, according to Lukashenko, there is foreign interference, and there are some people who are um, trying to uh, move the masses of the protesters, the foreign interference, where you can see how from outside of the countries the people are being directed and sort of told them what to do. For example, from Czech Republic, where there appears to be headquarters, also apparently there is some interference, according to Lukashenko, from Poland, and he even has accused Russia of having something to do with it. And also, previously, we have heard from Lukashenko that they were actual people, actual infiltrators who were coming in from Ukraine. So the leader of Belarus has pretty much accused every and any neighboring country of sort of plotting against him. And of course, I don't know how to interpret that. Either there is truly a world conspiracy against that guy, which I doubt a little bit, or maybe it's a little bit sign of some kind of, I don't know, worry, or they don't know how to interpret the situation. They don't know what to do, and they are starting to act by which by some spectators and observers could be considered as a bit paranoid, because to think that the whole world is colluding in order to remove Lukashenko seems to be a little bit far fetched, although that is exactly what he is. And now you see, there is a person who is totally in blood. You can see there is a lot of blood coming from him, and the way this wound looks, there seems to be a hole, and it, guess wise, it's probably some sort of a shot. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! See there, a lot of blood coming out. Yeah, and they are trying to sort of darken out the face of this person, blur it out, because I guess they are fearing for his safety. So this is yet another confirmation that there is a bloody sort of situation ongoing, and we can clearly see the same scene repeating all over again, that the protesters gather of dozen or dozens of people in some places, and immediately as soon as they reach some considerable number, like 10 or 12 or 20, the police arrives by a minibus, and then they start arresting them. So this is there. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. But he's running away. He's running away. Ha ha ha! Did you see that? Did you see that? He ran away. Ha 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 ha! Did you see that guy? How he ran away? Oh, oh my God! That was an interesting development, I gotta say. And now I'm going to turn my attention a little bit to the chat in the stream. And I'm saying hello to Mustafa Yerislan. Hello there, Mustafa. There is David Martin in the chat. Hello, David Martin. Hello. And now we're going to go over here. We're going to watch some more. There is a guy who is semi-naked, and he is beat up by the police, and he is describing what was going on, how this situation developed, and how they were beating him up. So near a place called Riga in city of Minsk, there is some barricades that are being built, and this are reported by more and more now. And now there was reports, again reports of blood being spilled. Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, the opposition candidate, she has spent more than 3 hours inside the electoral commission, and there she was warned that she should not agitate people. So apparently, according to the opposition, this fact that the candidate from the opposition has spent 3 hours in the building of the Central Electoral Commission was sort of a trick to attract as many of people as possible, so that they would come to the Electoral Commission, to its buildings and its surroundings, and then the government would be able to catch them. I cannot confirm or verify this information in any way, but at least this is what they say. And this is going on right now. There's a place called Riga, part of the town of Minsk. And there are barricades, and there is a forceful action. And those are people demonstrating on the streets right now. According to those information services, there are tens of thousands of people out on the streets in Belarus right now, but there is slightly more than 1,000 of special forces in entire Republic of Belarus. But as we can see, the people are being detained or arrested all over the country. There is a fresh video from the area of Riga coming in, and the police was working to disperse the crowds. And there was information that the people are using their private personal vehicles to stop police from coming in and dispersing. Near this whole thing, this violence and barricades, the epicenter appears right now to be near a big shopping mall called Riga. Bam! The information coming in actually from the officials that there are death among the protesters. There are people who are dead now among the protesters. So again, I repeat, this is information coming from the official pro-government sources of Belarus. The official version is like this: that there was a guy who was holding some kind of explosive device in his hand. He tried to throw it at the police, but he didn't handle it right, and it exploded in his hand, whereby he was injured to such a degree that he could not sustain the functions of life in his body. So basically, he died because he exploded himself by accident. And this is official information now. And there was one more case yesterday where we strongly suspect that the person is dead. So this is at least the second case that we know of. So basically, the government version right now is that there is a foreign interference, and those foreign interferers, they were trying to agitate people to storm one of the palaces. In the city of Brest, the second key city for this developing events, there is report of another death, which would be a third dead person. The latest information, which we had like one person who suspected dead yesterday, one person who is dead today, and that was confirmed by the authorities. They're telling that he died by his own fault because his explosive device exploded in his hand. And now there is unconfirmed, I repeat, unconfirmed information that there are 11 people heavily wounded in the city of Brest, and there is one more dead. Which is, like I said before, unconfirmed, but it's still quite a worrisome development because there is clearly more and more blood getting spilled. And as you heard, this is receiving even confirmation from the official information sources. And one of the key meanings of the city of Brest is that it has a key position for transit. It has a key position for railroad transit, for road transit, and in many other ways. So in the city of Brest, there is more fighting going on, and people are trying to build blockades. So how was this happening in the city of Brest? Uh, pe- People are taking out some of the concrete benches. So there are concrete benches near the road, and they use them to block the road. As you can see in this video, there was a lot of flashbang grenades. There was a lot of tear gas used. But now this confrontation appears to be nearing a new level, both in the city of Minsk and in the city of Brest, where demonstrators are now successfully blocking the roads using concrete benches, which they tear out and put on the roads, which effectively can block the government vehicles from entering the protest area. Also, like it has been mentioned earlier, there is unconfirmed information about 11 people being dead, and this is the key opposition candidate. She is saying that this is a wrong situation, that the elections were not conducted correctly, and of course, the government version is that the Poroshenko, the pro-opposition guy, won. Sorry, the government candidate won fair and square, and the official version is that 80% 80% is for the sitting president and 10% for the key opposition candidate. And as it stands right now, opposition is saying that in some districts they clearly won, and some districts are disputed, but anyway, that the proportion is not like this. They are saying that some of the messengers are either not functioning or functioning very badly because the government is not able to entirely control them. So the information is that there are helicopters which came out from the capital Minsk, which flew out west. So presumably the situation in the west on the Polish border is much less under control of government. And the owner of the Telegram channel, Pavel Durov, he has spoken out and he has said that they were trying as hard as they can to retain the freedom and function of their service in Belarus. And the only reason why it was not functioning was because there are general problems with internet. The government is simply time and time again is turning off the internet, and while that is happening, of course, the telegram services are not functioning. So the people were using trash containers. The people were using trash containers to build up barricades, but police starting to shoot rubber bullets. So the reporter, the journalist, is telling that those barricades, it's not like a barricade during the French Revolution. It is just sort of the trash containers which were turned ups and down. But although they were relatively simple, they did fill a function because they did stop usual car vehicles of the government from entering the protest area. But once, of course, the heavier forces, which could shoot rubber bullets, arrived at site, then, of course, those barricades were overrun by the police. The city is being emptied. The city is being emptied by government forces. Government forces are not allowing in any kind of vehicles. Private vehicles are not allowed to come in, but the people, the pedestrians, are still allowed in. And the reporter is saying that the way government is cleaning up the streets from the protesters, it is done by the way which is absolutely brutal. According to those journalists, the medical vehicles supposedly are being used by the police and pro-government forces as a Trojan horse. So they sit in them, in the medical vehicles, and they enter the opposition-controlled area. Because opposition people are letting in the medical vehicles to pass through, and that's how the pro-government police force is able to get in the areas which are controlled by the protesters. I repeat, this information is completely unconfirmed, and I would definitely wait for the verification of it before I would draw any further conclusion upon it. But like it was previously said, there is an official confirmation that there are people that are being dead, and there are multiple and multiple cases of people being heavily injured and a lot of blood spilled. We can see it for ourselves with our own very eyes. So there is clearly some water cannons being used. Nothing special. You've probably seen it by now in pretty much every European city. And there are people that are running away from those vehicles and still trying to continue their protest. So, yeah, nothing unusual there. Just an interesting footage of how it works. So there is at least one video. There's at least one video circulating right now that there is a person of the police that has been run over by the civilian car. So basically, this lady is telling that there is no public transport, and then most of the cafes and things like that are shut down as well. So basically, life has come down to a standstill in the center. So also this female correspondent, she is telling that she couldn't get into the city center. She had to stay in her suburb. But in there, the shootings and the using of anti-riot gear went on for about 1.5 hours, for about an hour and a half. So, according to this correspondent, wherever she would go, she would see people who would throw up their hands in a sign of opposition support. So, if there were some places where there would be like bus stops and other places which people would use for collective traffic, the people who were gathering on the bus stops were still showing all kinds of hand signs for opposition support. Um, the information is that where the pro-government security forces have dismantled the barricades and people were spread out, and then the pro-government forces went away because they saw that they won. The people quickly gathered up again and rebuilt those barricades. So people are using fireworks to fight the police. And practically every city in the country is doing some kind of protest. So now we are watching the program from Vilnius, the Lithuania, the bordering country to Belarus, where people are coming out in protest. And this is the president of Lithuania. I haven't heard exactly what he's saying, but I can pretty much guess that they are for free and fair election, for free and democratic Belarus, and I'm pretty sure that this is exactly what this guy is saying. And as we can see in the background, there are some LGBT flags. So, in the opinion of those demonstrators, it's also an issue. The fresh video is coming in, incoming. Yes. Some technical difficulties. Uh, and the information was that they are now using Molotov cocktails. The first confirmed information that protesters are starting to use Molotov cocktails. This is a fresh video. As we can see, people are building barricades. This is the freshest there is. You can see they are taking up those concrete, all kinds of concrete and iron and other type of street furniture, and they're trying to blockade using it. And there are some sort of, I don't know, bags, trash bags, and things like that. And they are trying to use whatever they can, and they're sitting down, so they're probably hoping that this will somehow be a vehicle stop. So, of course, it's a little bit unrealistic from the way I see. And there we go. Those are metallic, I would presume, wood and metallic street furniture, which they are using to try to build a barricade. And now there will be police. There is incoming police. There are flashbangs. We can clearly hear the sound of them. So now there is a new version of why the person is dead. According to the opposition version, he was killed because there was a virtual cannonade of fire which was let out by the police. So, according to opposition, this person, he was not so stupid that he has exploded himself with his own device. Instead, it was police who is responsible because he was killed. So you can see the protesters are flashing and screaming, and those were the police. So there are two places which are key flashpoints right now. One of them is Pushkin Station, and near the Pushkin Station and the other place, people are trying to build kind of sort of barricades. And they are using the tables from McDonald's. In some other cities like Brest, they were using concrete street furniture, and as we could see from the footage, that the people were also sitting down, kind of, and resting on the furniture, which from which they tried to build their own barricades. So the opposition representatives are not trying to deny that there might be a Molotov cocktail used against the police. So demonstrators apparently have used Molotov cocktails, and they are using fireworks against the police as well. So that is their counter weapon right now, and this is not being denied by pro-opposition force. So the journalist, the pro-opposition journalist, is telling that she did indeed saw flying something from the demonstrators. So first there was fireworks, and then there was something else flying from the opposition camp towards the security forces. So they were asking her, how many injured have you seen yourself? According to this video that we saw before, some representatives of the police were destroying trees in order to get themselves some sort of like sticks to hit people with. And this is the center of the town pretty much right now, just very, very recently. And as you can see, there are quite a lot of people out there right now. So right now they're describing the situation in other corners of the nation than the capital, and it's pretty much the same thing that there are protests everywhere you can see. So there is a police throwing out a woman out of her own vehicle, and unclear why. And this is police moving forward in some sort of formation which appears to be ready for attack. Uh, this is claimed by the opposition that there are some kind of people who are from the Spetsnaz, from the anti-riot police force, and that they are wearing some sort of Russian markings on their uniform. Again, a very questionable information, and we don't know. So now we are getting explanation why apparently pro-government forces have been destroying trees on the video. The reason is that they are now including a military. There is also a military told to come out, and military does not have bats and sticks to fight with the usual people. So that's why they were trying to take some of that stuff away from trees. So now these guys are saying that those police forces have some sort of Russian marks on them. But again, that is a very big question about this. I don't see anything that is supporting their claim. They're apparently, I did not see it myself, anything saying Russia on anyone. And these guys themselves are saying that there is no confirmation if they are Russians or not. There is no confirmation. This guy is saying there's no confirmations that these guys are Russians. So he's saying again there is no confirmation if this Spetsnaz is Russian or not. For now, there are 33 people, 33 citizens of Russia who remain in jail in Belarus. So now those guys themselves are saying that apparently this information about those forces being Russian is some kind of provocation because clearly the accent of those people is such that they're coming from Belarus. Okay, now we have seen this, and now I'm leaving this channel and going to some other sources. Let's see what we can see and what is going on. Now, I'm going to see your comments first. Oh, okay. There are some people still over here. That's wonderful. That's great. I'm very glad to see that. Uh, All right, so slideshow Mark. Good stream again. Don't know why more people are not watching. I don't know. Thanks a lot for this information. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Shutton. All right, so whoever you are, yes, yes, thank you. Maybe those people, you are also very, very welcome to write your stuff in the comments later on. So maybe we can see maybe there are some similar interests or things like that, and we could simply talk somehow off camera or something like this, or just somewhere in the chat. Now I'm gonna show you some other stuff from today. I don't know how much you have seen it already, but anyway, I'm gonna show you some stuff. Whoa, yeah, this is Belarus. Nice uniform, guys. Whoa, yo, you bought some gear there. Oh my. And there is this speech by Pompeo. Pompeo is saying that those elections are unfree and unfair, the elections that were held in Belarus, and he is calling on the Belarusian authorities to refrain from using force, and the citizens should be allowed to gather freely in peaceful manner. And he also stated that we denounce the use of force against the protesters and the detention of the opposition supporters, as well as the blockage of internet and stopping the Belarusian citizens of use of information freely. So, like I said, they are saying from the US that Belarus should stop blocking the internet, and they should stop blocking the information distribution by Belarusian citizens between themselves. That is said by Pompeo. Anyway, there is some more blah 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 by this guy. Yeah. And now there is some other stuff. Yes, this is Belarus. And let's see if we are hitting some more nice photos or videos in here. Yes, we are. So, mm, Sputnik, that is the Russian internet agency. It is telling about continuous arrests, that the arrests go on, and then there are people gathering in the center of the town, and that there is helicopters being used. We don't know for which purpose. And the subway is being restricted or even stopped. The OMON and other forces geared to fight riots are checking the documents, they are checking the IDs, and the Belarusian police force is getting ready for the next round. And now let's see if we have some more videos in here of the protest itself. Yes, this scene, which we have seen previously, there is a guy who appears to be more or less unconscious, and he clearly needs some help. And there is a policeman calling on for help, that he needs help. And this is from 2010. He is from 2010. Yeah. And this is confirmation that Lukashenko received support for his elections from Chinese. And this is a photo of a guy who was run over by a truck. He is falling down from the windshields of this truck, and boom, he's falling on the ground, and then truck runs over him. This is how this is going on. And some more photos. There we go. This is the square. There we go. Some more of the square. And this is the usage of gas. And you can see there is more and more police. And then some nice guys trying to fly high on their scooter. She looks like a bride. I don't know if she is, but that's the way she looks. And there are people being pulled away, carried away, call it whatever you want. And then there are police using their shields and having a good gear to fight riots. And there is a guy with pretty cool hair, especially considering he's coming from Belarus. And now, whoa, look at all those people. That's quite a lot. And there are some more people running somewhere over there. Yeah, and there are more people that are standing everywhere. You can see sort of that they're hiding in the park in the dark. There are people, there are people, there are people. Yeah. And those are some sort of fires that are being lit up. And guys running, the military or the interior forces running somewhere. And this is guy being arrested, but if you would ask me, the way he looks on this photo, he kind of looks drunk. Now, let's see if I can make the telegram work. Can you see the telegram? Once I show you the telegram, can you see it right now? Guys, can you tell me if you can see the telegram? Can you tell me in the chat? Is telegram visible on your screen? Please let me know. Anyway, here is, there we go, there we go. This is the situation near the Pushkin subway. Let's begin from the beginning. Let's go. This is as big as it gets. Anyone who is out there, of you people in the chat, can you please deny or confirm that you're hearing me? And this is the square where you can see the cars were used by usual people to block off the police from being effectively using the street. And also there are honking, and of course the honking is in opposition support, and those are the opposition flags. And there are people who are writing something on the street. I don't. 3%. So opposition is somehow claiming that the Lukashenko, the current president, would have 3%, which is of course simply not true. The same way that the claim by the president that opposition would have 10% is a very, very unlikely, and the other way around, it's extremely unlikely that they would have 3%. So both sides are saying things that are ridiculous about each other. And this was footage from the side of the barricade. And now we are moving on, and we will see some more of nice footage. There we go. Uh-huh. And this is how they were. This is how they were blocking the street, trying to build those barricades. Let's see. So this is the rubbish, as you can see, and they are using those things to block off the streets. And since they have blocked the streets with this, then there are cars standing which don't want to go through those trash cans, and thus effectively they are blockading the street. So now let's see some more of this stuff which is ongoing. Oh god. So this is the rumor that there was the Russian special forces, but it simply turned out to be not true. So you can see that there is this rumor, the same footage where there are a lot of people in riot gear moving on, but it turned out to be not true that they are Russian. And now there is, let's see, yes, this is Minsk, and there are explosions, flashbang hitting a protester. So now you could have seen this footage before, but I think now that we know what to look for, this guy, I think, yes, there he goes, being hit. There is a direct hit. Let's watch it once again. There is the guy standing right there. He's standing with a camera. He's standing with a camera. And boom! He's turning around, being hit, and then he realizes he's been hit in the stomach. I hope you saw this one. Okay, let's try to watch it again. There we go. There we go. There he stands. Boom! It goes off, and now, oh, ow, ow, ow! I'm being hit. I'm being hit. Yeah, that's it. And now let's move on to some other stuff and see what else we have got. And we are, there we go. There are some women lying down on the ground. Why? I really don't know. They're screaming. I don't know. It looks just a little bit strange. And now there is a policeman who's what? He's trying to help them? What's going on with this? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, there is the barricades being built. As you can see, people are using all kinds of trash. And there are your famous umbrellas. And this is yet another trash can that they are using. And those are the ladies that are being very, very sad. I don't know why they're sad. And now they're telling that a lot of this situation around Minsk, there has been a major call, sort of the pro-government forces. There has been call for arms, so they're gathering the special forces from all over country to come into Minsk. Oh yeah, yes. This is an incredible photo actually. There is a tear gas, there is some people cleaning up their faces, and there is a guy who is reading something in his Facebook or something like this, or maybe Telegram, or just a phone calling to his mom. Anyway, there you have yet again, there is this blockade by usual vehicles that are effectively blocking off the streets for the possibility of the special forces to reach it, and those are in special. I mean, wow! Look at those guys, just those goggles. I would, if somebody would have shown me and told me that this is Belarus, I would never believe it. But look at it, www.kfc.bi. I mean, we barely have KFC in Sweden. Oh, darn, somebody being hit. There is some girl who's been hit, and there are some journalists who are carrying her away. Ouch, yes, there are some ladies, and I don't know if they're scared or if they're being hit. And there is this guy who has something which is lit. I don't know what it is. Oh, this guy looks funny. He's onto something. His colleague is half asleep, and this guy is being totally dodgy. Can you see him like dun 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 dun, looking somewhere this way? His guy is asleep. This guy's like, oh, what's going on? This guy is entirely like, oh yeah, people, yeah. This is the map of Minsk, and as you can see, there are plenty of places which are effectively blocked off. I'm so sorry that there is no. Oh, yes, yes, it did get bigger. It did get bigger. Let's see if we can get the sound back on. Yes. Boom, boom. There you go. There are the flashbangs. Yep, that's that. We've seen this footage from other media providers a few times earlier before today. So I'm gonna say that this is where we're gonna stay with that video. And now let's see some more. There are some guys who are, some of them using the mask, but something is telling me that it is not to save stay from corona, but it's more or less likely that they're trying to hide their face. Let's keep on moving. Yeah, there they are forming a chain. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that is the bus driver. As far as I understand from the report, this is a bus driver who was hit by a flashbang grenade or stand grenade, which somehow ricocheted or something like this, and he was hit. So, anyway, it's a bus driver who was accidentally hit. This is a sign which they draw on the grass, and it says "You lost." So clearly, those are probably opposition supporters, and they're telling to Lukashenko that he has lost. And this is some kind of smoke. Uh, I would not be able to tell you exactly what it is. Maybe some sort of tear gas or something. I don't know. Yes, here we definitely see tear gas, and then there are some sort of flashes going on, so clearly police is using their equipment, and there are people who are sitting in front of police. We have seen photos almost exactly like this from many many locations in the world, and this is how they usually look. This is a very very famous sort of outlook. Yeah, but it still looks good. It's a good photo. There's no way to hide from that. And this is near the Pushkin subway station, near the Pushkin metro station. As you can see, police is using stun grenades. Yes. And there is Omon. There are the pro-government forces which are forced to retreat. So what we're gonna watch now is pro-government forces retreating. So there are the protesters, and they appear to be not appear. It's quite clear that there are those are the protesters which are chasing the police. And I have to tell you, I very much sympathize with the family of the guy who has been killed. I mean, of course, it's extremely sad, and for those other who are wounded or dead. But when it comes to footage, quite a lot of footage is looking a little bit like Benny Hill. You see the police running away, and then those usual people. So the protesters are screaming shame, 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 and as you can see, the police clearly appears to be in retreat. That the in this particular video, it seems that the protesters have outnumbered police by quite a lot, and then using their advantage in numbers, the protesters are starting to chase the police. So now people are chanting that the people are fascists, that the people in black are fascists. So the demonstrators are claiming that this pro-government forces are part of a fascist regime. And now let's see, some more of Pompeo. And there is Belta for you. No, not Belta. Nexta. I apologize. Nexta, of course, Nexta. And oh. So they detained a guy, and then this guy is clearly getting hit and bit up quite bad. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa. Can you see that? Oh my god. Look, look. Oh, whoa. I really hope that this is not towards his head. Yeah. This looks really, really bad. So the police is clearly starting to lose it. I mean, regardless, whatever happened, this is wrong. This, both of those last videos, both civilians chasing the police and this police beating up a person who's already detained, is just completely wrong by any standard at all. And there is another detention. There is somebody who is standing in there. He is going in. And this one is also going in. And what? And people are screaming shame, shame, shame. Oh, wow. Oh my god. Did you see this? Look. Wow. They're telling the vehicle to back off, that the vehicle should back off. Now, let's watch this once again. Slowly, slowly. Look, the car is backing off and then it's running into the policeman right now. This is it. Yes, the car tried to run over the police. It is as clear as it is that this car tried to run over the police. Yes. There he is. Yes, and there are people getting shut down and detained. But previous to this, we saw quite clearly that there was a person who tried to run over the police. Yeah. Okay, there is another situation. Let's watch this. There are people who are running away. And those who did make it, they are getting beat up. So it is survival of the fittest, so to speak. Oh, whoa, shoot, this is bad. Oof, whoa. Yeah, a lot of nasty stuff going on. Wrong by any kind of standards on both sides. And now there's a guy who is going on with a child. What an idiot! Who brings a child to something like that? What is wrong with you? How, what? Look, there is a guy who has a child on his head. A guy who came with a baby to something like that. Oh my god, this is insane. This is so stupid. Jesus Christ. Anyway, there was that detention. And now some panorama photos. Those are opposition supporters. Those are their mobile phones, which are being lit up. And most of those in the traffic are honking also for them in their support. And that's another photo with a major view. There you can see people are gathering up. This and this we have already seen too, that they are catching some people in the back alleys and is arresting them. Yes, there you go. Yes. Look, he has some sort of a rifle. It's quite clear that he got some sort of a rifle with them. There's somebody coming out on their balcony and screaming something. And there is this person being led away. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, this is the city of Brest. Let's see this thing to begin with. Boom! Again. Boom, boom, boom. Flashbangs. There are the people that were there, and then there are some flashbangs that are thrown by the police so that they would disperse the crowd. So first they disperse them, and then they try to catch as many as possible one by one. And this is the view that we have seen before. The people are standing out, gathering up, and this is police beating them up really, really bad. Look at that guy. He's just lying on the ground and boom, 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 boom. Yep, yep, yep. This is absolutely unnecessary violence by any means. This is bad. This is really bad. Oh my God, I don't really know what to say. This is so sad. This is really so sad. Yeah. So there they are gathering up and then getting beat up. And now we can see some more of the police. This almost looks like they're going to the restaurant, but no, they're not. They are just gathering up. Okay. And the last thing, one of the last things that we're gonna see, at least from this session, uh, and there is an attacker that been killed near the White House in USA. Oh my God, this has been what a day. An attacker being killed in near White House in USA. So it appears that everything is happening at once and right here, right now. What a crazy world we live in. Okay, that was that. That was that. We've seen that too. And now let's see if we can get some more information from here. Let's see. So we're gonna go a few hours ago, and there are 21 criminal cases which have now officially been started in Belarus, and of course there's going to be a lot more, but already those are known. There is a Russian journalist which was detained in Minsk. Around 1,000 people were gathered in center of Minsk, according to this Russian source, uh, around one of the monuments in the central part of town. And the protest also is supported in Warsaw. The people who have gathered in Warsaw are in support of the people who are demonstrating in Belarus. And then the Minister of the Interior in Belarus has said that they have enough of gear and enough of forces to prevent the destabilization of situation in Belarus. And here it says that the opposition is uh, that there are some people in Kiev that are gathering near the embassy of Belarus, and that people who cannot vote are very, very upset and angry at the government of Belarus. And there they go, that the Russian journalists are going to be freed soon. Belarusian police is arresting the rioters actively right now. According to correspondent of a Russian news agency, there is over 1,500 people who have gathered 4 hours ago. And there are more and more people arriving in the center. And the pro-government forces have forced the most of the people away from the monument in the center of the city. The ambassador of Russia in Belarus is expecting that the cooperation with Russia will continue soon. The Russian journalists, 3 of them, have been freed about 4 hours ago. Belarusian forces are dispersing the crowds while using all kinds of special gear. And there is also Ministry of Interior participating right now. So not only police, but Ministry of Interior. and the embassy of Belarus in Moscow. Around it, there are about 300 people who have gathered up, and they are singing and chanting political slogans. And then in Belarus, some of Russian journalists have been denied accreditation, and a Russian state media has some questions about that. Uh, Pompeo has called these elections unfree and unfair. And in Moscow, near the embassy of Belarus, there were some people detained. Let's see. Okay, well, that was some of that stuff, and let's see if we can see some of those videos in here. Whoa, I don't think it's a video, it's a photo, but still. See, flashbang, everything like this, and then there are some people who are checking out if they have filmed. Oh my god, look at those people. They seem to be hurt, and this guy doesn't care at all. Wow, that was a good photo. Yeah, and those are symbols of Belarusian nationalists. Those are normally the gear of football fans. So yeah, this is the arrested guy. We have seen this a couple of times, that photo. And then there are some people who are speaking out against the police. And then there is a guy being hit from what I can gather. And now there is also some more people showing off the nationalist flag. And there's a mom with two kids. I don't understand people like this. No offense, but to put out your offspring in a situation like this, I don't know. I think this is wrong simply. Yeah, then there is a guy who has been arrested, and another arrest, and some more arrests. You can hardly figure it out where his head is, but there's his head, and it looks like he's gonna be hit pretty bad. He is covering up his arms, and it looks like this guy is really gonna hit him. Now, there is some more demonstrations, and they're waving. It is a different flag of Belarus, often used by nationalists. And there are people who are having their phones lit up, and as you can see, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. And there is an ambulance. Yeah, boom. This is it. Yes, yes. Now we see this quite clearly, that they're having rifles like that. Yeah, yeah, that's quite a bad thing. Anyway, there we see a cloud of smoke, and those are the new kind of fences. So they put up this kind of fences on top of the automobile, on top of the car, and immediately it becomes this sort of like a shield for a car. Also, as you can see, those are ladies. They are lady police. Those are ladies sitting in there. Yes, and these are some more arrests. Oh, this is a very serious vehicle. This is like a more or less sort of Russian knockoff of Humvee. Yeah, okay, of course, there are some people going to say that they created it by themselves anyway, but I think this is a knockoff from Humvee. And there it is, some people who are trying to gather up like this in chains because they are trying to prevent police from arresting them one by one. Yeah. And those are your trash containers, which are being turned on their head because they're trying to create barricades or just to find some stuff to throw around at the police. And there's some very sad lady, yeah. And there's a little bit more of those Russian Humvee knockoff. And there's a proper Dodger right there. Yeah, yeah, people. Yes, this is it. Okay, let's see. Those are Belarusians. The video is called Belarusians Speaking Out Against the Election Falsification. Let's see this again. Oh, yeah. This is from Belsat, the channel that we have been watching before. People clapping their hands, and clapping is a sign that you support the opposition in this case. And there they're shooting. Yeah. My guess that these are rubber bullets, I presume. I mean, it's extremely likely. And there are people carrying out some trash that they are building barricades. And then there are people who are watching what's going on from their flats. Yep, yep, yep. Quite interesting. The situation is developing as we speak about it. Another video. There is a stun grenade that is being thrown into the crowd by the police. Boom. Just a means to disperse the crowd, but I don't envy if somebody was hit by it. I do not envy anybody. Let's just watch it one more, and it's gonna be there. Yep, boom, right there in the crowd. Now I hope they didn't mean to do something like it because this could be pretty dangerous if somebody was hit by it. Now let's see another video. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. The people are filming while police is using the water cannons to disperse the crowd. And this is another video of how they are dispersing the crowds. Let's see. Wow, that was a lot of people. Oh my god. Oh my god. They are really when they first you see this little and then they turn the camera around for a little second and now it's just like tens or dozens of people and then for a while you could see that there was actually hundreds of them. I don't know if I'm gonna catch this. Yes, there it is. Whoomp, there it is. Look, just a few people, nothing special. And then they're gonna turn the camera around for a little second, and boom! Whoa! Look at this! Oh my God! Oh my God! This is really a lot of people. Yeah. Well. We have sort of gone through another of those information sources, and now I'm just gonna show you the key cities in Belarus. That's the three eastern ones, the three big ones: Vitebsk, Mogilov, and Gomel. Those are the three big ones. Boom, boom, boom. That's the east. This is center, Minsk. And then there is the west, Grodno and Brest. And among those that are a little bit like often are mentioned, but they are the smaller one, there is Babruisk and Zlobin. This is the home of one of the reporters on the TV channel, which we were watching. And then there's Baranovichi, Lida. Those are just the smaller cities, and they've only been significant because the opposition forces in them outnumber quite police by quite a lot. So it has been working to their favor. And like I previously said, for those of you who were not watching this show from the beginning, there is a number of very large roads which are going from all over Russia, first together in Moscow. And if you're going to go west, then it is very much a key road here. One of them, the second one, still going through Belarus and ending up in here, and a third one too. So, very many key roads, one or the other way, end up in Belarus. And you should also understand that this region, Baltics, are pretty much cut off for Russia now because this is NATO countries, and this part below the Ukraine is also cut off because this is a conflict zone. This is where they have an armed conflict, and like the country of Ukraine, they have armed conflict with Russia in there, so it's a no-go. And this is NATO countries, so it's also a no-go, and they're very much against Russia. So if you want to see it, then this only sort of breathing hole that remains is that. And now we can see what information is provided by RT. Let's see if RT is telling us something new. Updated 18 hours ago. That's a little bit late. 9th of August, 18 hours ago. No. Well, I guess we'll just see if there are some new videos on this channel. Let's see. Belarus. One kill. There we go. This is oh my God. Look at this. I can't believe this is happening. This is so much fun. Sorry, but it is. Okay, so there is a protester. There is a protester, and this protester, he is just going with them, and they're almost putting him on a usual street bus. Oh no, it wasn't. It was just a usual street bus. So they almost put a protester inside a regular street bus. That was funny. Yeah. Okay, now this part is not funny at all. This is, of course, sort of what's behind all this horrible stuff, that there are actually people who are getting dead. And there you see, whoa, there is a lot of police around one vehicle. I don't know what happened there. And this guy, he's probably some sort of a boss, or at least he looks that way. And now they are telling us that a protester in Minsk has died from injuries caused by an explosive device he tried to throw at the police. Belarusian authorities said as a mass demonstrations against the results of the presidential election continued. The opposite version of it, of course, which we heard from the opposition, is that he was shot by the police. He was shot from he died from the shot fired by a police. The Interior Ministry of Belarus confirmed the death of a man in Minsk on Monday evening after a clash with riot police that he tried to remove barricades set up by protesters across avenue in the western part of the capital. And now comes a quote from the Belarusian officials. One of the protesters tried to throw an unidentified explosive device at the law enforcement officers. It exploded in his hand and caused injuries incompatible with life. So basically, he died from it. And yeah. And now you can see, so basically they're talking about how there are flashbangs used. You can see the same sort of photos that we were talking all evening about, that there are very good gear for, especially for being East European police. A special anti-terrorist unit was deployed to break up the crowd down the road, an intersection closer to the downtown Minsk, prompting a panic reports of army shooting at people by local media. Uh, rubber bullets and flashbangs were used. And now let's see, what is this? Nah, I'm not gonna open this. And this is protesters used fireworks and in some incidents tried to run over police with cars. Yes, this is what we have seen, and this is not a good thing at all. This is just, I don't know, why would anybody do like this? That is bad thing. I understand that people are angry, but this is not any kind of achieving any kind of results. This is horrible, and this could have led that, policemen would died, and who would have gained anything from it. There is not even a tactical advantage in killing a police like that. So I think this is somebody who gone nuts. Anyway, and also, of course, this could be used by pro-government media that will surely play this all over again during the whole next day. And now let's see this. Oh, is this police being run over? I think it is, again, police who are being run over. I think it's even the same car. Oh, oh my God, it looks like even the same car. Look at this. There. Whoop. Oh my God. And he's turning, he's turning, he's turning. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is bad. Yeah. As you can see, the level of violence is clearly increasing. Activists of opposition are refusing to accept the official results of the presidential election, which showed the incumbent President Lukashenko winning at 80% of the vote and easily defeating his main challenger. In addition to the capital, which has seen fierce clashes between protesters and law enforcement, there have been confrontations in other cities across Belarus. Footage from Brest on the border with Poland shows explosions and a standoff between riot police and demonstrators. Whoa. As a protest continued past midnight, fireworks lighten up the night skies in Brest, with the protesters filmed throwing them towards law enforcement. Whoa. Oh my god. Oh, you can actually get hit quite bad, from that. Yeah. Protesters have embraced the white banner with a red stripe, the flag of the first independent Belarusian state, planting it on buildings and landmarks. In the Malenkovo borough of Minsk, protesters were seen cheering loudly after positioning a flag atop of a Byzantine sculpture. Let's see how they're doing this. Yeah, quite interesting. Sound of explosions, apparently from flashbangs, have rung out in Novopolotsk, a town in the northern parts of Belarus. Footage from the scene showed thick smoke filling the streets amid the scuffles with law enforcement and the protest. Yeah, okay. Well, well, well. There is a full action going on. And this is Sweden saying that we are completely against this kind of violence. And now we are back to Belsat. So let's see if there are some people who are still with me. Whoa, there are. Well, that's wonderful. So thank you so much for wonderful evening. And I would like to say, whoa, are you actually hearing me? Uh-huh. Yeah, a picture of me appears to be stuck. Well, anyway, I hope that you were able to hear all this and that there was at least some sound. So, lots and lots of hugs to all of you, and have a happy, wonderful evening and the rest of your life. And we will see each other tomorrow, I hope. All right. Lots of hugs, guys. See you soon. Bye.